Here's Kevin Mackey with this week's Montana Moment, brought to you by Montana Chevy Dealers.
For generations, the old Carnegie Library building in downtown Missoula has been home to one of the region's most enduring art museums. The Missoula Art Museum features contemporary art and is well known to artists, schools, and art patrons. This year, it celebrates 50 years of artistic service to the community. In our Montana Moment, Kevin Mackey with MAM.
This was opening night of the solid gold auction exhibition at the museum. These pieces will be sold at a live auction for a museum fundraiser in February. These are Kathy Weber's ceramic birds. She's worked in several mediums, from wood to calligraphy.
I've been a painter almost my whole life, and I studied painting, but several years ago, I just started fooling around with these ceramic birds.
April World uses hands to tell stories about culture and family.
We all see our hands in our peripheral vision, and it's easier to place yourself into the character of a hand because we all see our hands interacting with the world.
April and Kathy are 2 of 80 artists who will be featured in the auction in February. Their pieces are examples of contemporary art in the region.
It's reflecting on this place in this time. That's what contemporary art really does. Contemporary art is art of this time. And we really support art that is also of this place.
And because it is contemporary, it's always changing.
It's just always in flux. And what you're really trying to do is watch that flux and see what you can do that has the greatest impact and the greatest good.
MAM, as the Missoula Art Museum is affectionately known, showcases regional artists.
It's somewhere between 200 and 300 artists a year that we present and work with. You know, we're not an active player in the marketplace of art, but we definitely play a role in presenting and promoting artists.
Seeds for the museum began here at the old Carnegie Library in 1972.
And it served as the library for decades until the 70s. And they started building the new library and abandoned this building. And rather than tear the building down or turn it over for something else, a group of artists, Dana Bussard, Nancy Erickson, and Lila Audio, held kind of an impromptu art exhibition here in the space before it was a museum. And that planted the seed for the Missoula Art Museum.
The city of Missoula agreed to lease the building to the museum for $1 a year, provided funds for repairs, and the county granted a permissive levy to fund part of operations. MAM opened its doors in 1975.
And it was coming out of the counterculture movement and protests and really a sense of activism and community involvement, and I think that that's the basis which MAM was formed.
The old Carnegie Library offered everyone a chance for a better education, to learn more, to expand their minds, to be more creative. What better place for an art museum? Education plays a major part in the museum's services. Most every youngster in western Montana knows MAM. The 5th grade art experience brings 5th graders to the museum to see exhibitions and to do a hands-on art-making project of their own.
This program is really helping with critical thinking, self-confidence, creative problem solving, and also just access to different artists and kids being able to dream and think about being an artist themselves as a career.
There's a teen program.
13 and up get free programming, work with visiting artists, professional artists in the community, and work on public art pieces that you might get to see throughout the community.
MAM offers extensive Native American exhibits.
And a really wonderful collage by Jean Quick-to-See-Smith, who is a Salish artist. Beginning in the mid-1990s with a gift from Jean Quick-to-See-Smith, we have since been collecting Native artists and now have over 250 artists represented in that collection.
This gallery houses a collection by Missoula artist Dagny Walton.
MAM is really all about Montana, and always has been.
50 years, I feel like, is a maturity or a coming of age for an institution. We've been a young institution. We've been really experimental. We've found our mission. We've found our audience.
MAM, says Brandon, is thriving. Kevin Mackey, NBC, Montana.